Alright, so kind of starting at the top here, this is the overhead panel in the airplane. And the overhead panel is pretty much where we interface with most of the systems on the aircraft. And I know it looks like there's a lot of switches. We'll kind of go through just piece by piece. I'll try to explain a little bit about each panel. Starting up at the top here, this is the electrical panel here, where we can kind of alter the way that the airplane gets power. And there's all sorts of different ways that we can power the aircraft, from generators on the main engines to the auxiliary power unit in the back of the aircraft, or even right now the aircraft is on external ground power, so it's coming from the jet bridge into the airplane and allowing us to have power. Right down from there, just these are some cockpit panel lights where you can kind of control the dimness of some of the lights inside here for nighttime, obviously. Moving up to the right here, this is the fuel panel where you can kind of regulate different valves and kind of transfer some fuel around, and yeah, just regulate a little bit about how the engines are getting fed their fuel. Down from there, passenger signs panel there. We just got the no smoking, fasten seatbelt lines, most importantly, and a couple other emergency functions as part of that panel. Moving up to the top here, these are our engine fire handles, and what those are for is give us a way to fight a fire quickly if there was an engine fire, or basically a way to cut off the fuel hydraulics and bleed air from the engines, as well as kind of put some extinguishing agents like out in the engines to hopefully put out a fire if there was one. Over to the right of there, these are kind of a similar concept, but cargo fire lights there. And I can kind of show you with this test button what this would look like if there actually was an engine fire. This is part of our normal thing that we test every day, but you can see that it all lights up, and we get some indications down here, as well as the audible sound there. Moving down, this is the auxiliary power control panel here. We just turn on a little engine in the back of the airplane to give air conditioning and ground power while we're at the gate. Windshield wipers right here. This panel is the external light panel that we use to regulate everything outside the airplane, from taxi lights to kind of recognition lights and whatnot. Moving over here is the hydraulic panel. Once again, we can kind of interface and manipulate the way that the airplane is getting its hydraulic power, different pumps and things that we're using. Pressurization panel here. Most of the time it's kind of left in the automatic position, but the airplane regulates the cabin pressure automatically as we go up and come down as part of its normal function. Up over here, this is the windshield heating and ice protection on the outside of the airplane. So we actually heat the leading edges of the wings, we heat the windshields, we heat the engine cowls so that they don't accumulate ice when we're flying through such weather conditions. And finally on the right here, this is the air conditioning panel, where we can pretty much control the temperature inside the cabin, as well as regulate the way that the airplane is getting its air conditioning through valves and the pressurization air conditioning units, which we can talk about another time. And then down at the bottom, passenger oxygen panel, once again always usually left in the auto position, but we can actually manually deploy the oxygen masks if there was a loss of pressurization when we're flying around. So pretty much wraps up the overhead panel. Not so bad, pretty simple.